don't know what it is. I just like Bristol City. I think they're going to win it, and I think they're going to win a massive one. I'm going 4-3. Gone huge for Bristol City.
No chance. Hello there and welcome to another Championship predictions video on the Sheff United Way channel. Now, me and Ollie, I'm going to bring him in a second, are going to be talking about all things game week 9 or 10. We don't actually know which game week it is. We've had heated discussions about this just before we came live. But if you want to let us know in the comments if you think this is game week 9 or game week 10, I will quickly do a little bit of an explanation why game week 9 was cancelled. Game week 9 was cancelled on our point because last week, due to the sad news of the Queen passing, we decided as a mark of respect to cancel the stream. And we also expected the games to be cancelled too, which is what all the murmurs around in the football community were saying. So we did the right thing. We are back now for game 9/10. What do you think, Ollie? 9 or 10?
I'm going 9. You know, we had this argument before. We don't need to go into it again. I think it's 9 because otherwise I'm going to get very confused. We're not playing game number 9 in game week 10. That don't work. It's 9.
No. I know what you mean. I've got a feeling that in a couple of months' time, we'll have game week 9, and then you're going to look a very silly sausage.
Well, I might look a bit of a silly sausage, but I do that anyway. So we might as well give me a reason.
I'll tell you how you don't look a silly sausage right now, mate, because you had an absolutely stormer of a week and have stormed back into second place. I'll let you talk us through it.
Oh, it was beautiful. Just every time we were watching a game all the way through the weekend, I was like, this is the one for me. It started with West Brom's 98th minute equaliser, which got me the 3 points in that first game. But as you can see there, I got 9 out of 12 scores right, at the results right, so the wrong way around, haven't I?
You have, yeah. And look at mine. Mine is just pitiful. So you've got 15 points. And I got 7 points, a lonely little 7. 7's not the worst in the world, but when it's going up against 15, it's pretty embarrassing. So I'll pop the predictions table on screen right now. There you go. Viewers are coming close to 100 points already. And Ole has overtaken me after I overtook him last week, 60 points. I am now 5 points behind you. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I am... top of the world, Nick. Top of the world. But no, it was a fantastic week. You know, I set the new record. That's the highest score anybody has got so far. So I'm still top of the individual leaderboard is how I'm calling it. But yeah, very happy with that. But our viewers did do well. I like to think I've made up some ground on them, which is at least something of a positive because they were running away from us. But we've got 3 to shout out. So the first one, 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐍𝐿𝐵𝐿ade. I think you've been with us from the very start. And this, by my count, has been your best week yet. Got 9 points, which gave you a solid 3rd place in our viewers list. Lewis Carter, that's another strong performance. I think you won last week. I think you got the shout out for 14 points. This week, you've come back in with 10, so another really steady performance. But the viewers winner, the one who's going on that leaderboard, Lewis Donnan, 11 points, and he did really well, just not quite as well as me.
4 points in front of him. 4 points. You should feel really good about that. All joking aside, that is a fantastic score.
Yeah, it was. You know, I'm acting the goat and being a bit smug. But yeah, I am really happy with it, to be honest. I didn't expect to be getting anywhere near those kind of scores. I thought I'd get one result maybe every week and look a fool. So as long as I'm not looking an idiot, I'll take that all day long.
So let's talk about game week 9/10, shall we? We're going to just keep calling it that, I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the first game is Blackburn Rovers versus Watford. What do you see happening in this game?
It's a tough one to predict. Blackburn, you know, started like house on fire and then have just gone off the boil completely. One thing about them, though, they don't create loads and loads of big chances, but the ones they do, they take. I think from what I was looking at earlier today, the stats I've been going into, Blackburn take the most percentage of their big chances created of anybody in the league. Whereas Watford seem to create more. They've got João Pedro, who's created the 2nd most big chances in the league. But they are having a little bit more difficulty taking them. You know, they're not being quite as clinical as you would expect with their front line. But I still think they've got enough to get over the line here. I think Watford are a better team than Blackburn. I think they're going to win it 2-1.
There we go. I've gone for a 2-0 victory for Watford as well. Like you say, Watford do struggle to score goals at times. But Blackburn Rovers have been terrible for some weeks now. So let's move on to Huddersfield, another team that have been terrible pretty much all season. I'm going to jump in there straight away with a prediction and go 0-0. This is going to be the most boring game of the season, and Preston aren't even involved.
I know, I can't believe it. I mean, when games are going to be boring, Preston have to be playing. But this one, I think we're going to nick it. I think that, it's going to be dull. It's going to be played in the margins. I just think Huddersfield have been so poor so far. I can't really rely on them to even get a point. I quite like Wigan. I like what they're doing so far. And if they can win this, it'll be a fantastic start for them. I think that's what they're going to do.
There you go. Now, Hull City versus Stoke City. Hull City have had a fantastic start to the season. They obviously lost to Sheffield United last week. Gutted about that. But I am going to go 2-1 Hull City this week. I don't think that Stoke City have had a very good start to the season. I think a lot of people predicted them to be finishing high up in the table. And I'm going to go for a Hull City win.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting prediction. I think Alex Neil coming in still hasn't quite settled at Stoke. They've not got going under the new manager yet. Hull, of course, are a team that's built for goals, I think. I think they've conceded 10, scored 6 in their last 5. So there are always goals in Hull City games. While you've got Estupiñán up front, you can always rely on a goal scorer, even if he couldn't quite put away his chances against United. But I don't think they're going to win this. I think it's going to be 2-2. And Neil will say that's a positive result.
Fair enough. Now, you say Estupiñán in every video. My boss at work is a Hull City fan, and I asked him how you said it. And do you know what he said?
What did he say?
Oscar. All right, okay. Nice. It's like, we don't even attempt. It's just Oscar because that's what's on the back of his shirt. But I like the way that you say Estupiñán better than just saying Oscar. It's boring.
It's boring. I'm not just going for Oscar. He used to play for Chelsea and he's in China.
Middlesbrough versus Cardiff City now. Middlesbrough started picking up a couple of wins.
They have, yeah. They had a really poor start to the season, but I think they've won 2 of the last 3 now. I think they are starting to get a little bit of a head of steam that we know Chris Wild's teams can do. They've underlying data. They've looked good all year. I think they've created the second most big chances in the league. Maybe now that they've got Muñoz in, they've got somebody who can take those chances and can really help them push forward. Cardiff, on the other side, they've struggled for goals all year. Morrison had his famous rant about how we don't need a striker. We've got the striker that we need. I think they've only scored 1 goal in 5 games since then. So it's made him really look like he knows his squad. I don't think they're going to score here. I think they're going to get a bit of a tonking. I'm going 3-0 Middlesbrough.
Do you know what? I kind of agree with you. When I saw it, I thought this is going to be a tonking or this is going to be a very, very close game because Middlesbrough at the moment are just edging past teams. I don't feel like they are going to hammer someone at some point. I'm sure of it. But I just think this is too early. I think they're going to nick it and it's going to end 2-1 to Middlesbrough at the Riverside. Next up, our team, Sheffield United, away to Swansea City. Go for it.
Well, we finally got that away win. That's what matters. The last time we played, we got that away win. We beat Hull, and I think that's huge. I think we really need to start building a little bit of momentum away from home because at home, we have been perfect so far. We've got the best defence in the league, apart from Preston, who I'm not counting because that's just a weird anomaly that, throw that over there. We've got the best attack in the league. We're scoring goals. I think United are looking really good. But Swansea, there's something weird happening at Swansea, Nick, and we need to talk about it. They were top of the possession charts. They had all of the ball for the first sort of 6 games of the season, and they weren't winning games. They weren't really picking up points. In the last 2 games, they've got 4 points, and in neither game have they dominated possession. In their game that they beat QPR had more possession than Swansea did. That's not how Swansea play. That's not how Russell Martin plays. There's something weird happening at Swansea. But I think United are going to continue their good run here, and I think we're going to win this game. I'm going 2-1.
Wowzers. Just what you were about to say then about Swansea starting to pick up points. That is what has led me to a 1-1 scoreline. And I do think that the Blades do struggle away from home. We didn't struggle against Hull City. I do think Swansea City are going to pose as more of a threat. And I just, if I predict the Blades to win and we don't, I'll be devastated. If I predict the Blades to draw and they win, I'll be very, very happy. So I can't see us losing this game. So we either draw it and I get a point or 3 points, or we win it and I'm happy anyway. So that's what I'm going for.
That's this meme all day long, that, Nick. I like it. Big brain thinking.
Always. Now, we've got Preston North End, your favourite side in the whole of the Championship, against Burnley. What are you thinking for this game?
Preston 2 weeks ago won 1-0. Preston last week lost 1-0. And that means they've gone a whole 2 games without recording their favourite result. And so there's only one way that this game's going to go, and they're finishing 0-0.
So I think I'm predicting more goals in this game than has happened in any other game this season for them. 1-1.
No, never.
Again, there's not going to be many goals in this game. We all know that. But I do think that Burnley, I don't know, I kind of wanted to go Burnley like 3-1 or something like that, because we all know Burnley can score goals. But
Preston don't concede goals. Burnley are a good goal-scoring team. We know that they've got it in them. But Preston don't concede them. But what you are predicting, Nick, and what we've missed here is one of the most important parts. Preston fans will be delighted because that will be the first goal they have seen their team score at home this season if it finishes 1-1. Now, if that's not a reason for Preston fans to party, I don't know what will be.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Like it's just a crazy season for Preston up to now. It's not going to continue. I've also seen that people are kind of comparing Erling Haaland's goals with Preston's goals and seeing who's going to score more goals this season. I do eventually think Preston will score more goals, but yeah, it's been a weird start to the season. You're not thinking
all your money. Stick all your money on Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland.
There we go. So, Luton Town versus Coventry City. Coventry really have not had a good start to this season. No. Still playing catch-up.
That's the thing. We keep saying, Coventry haven't played. I think on all the previous videos I've gone, well, they've not played. I don't know what to say about them. But they've now lost 5 on the spin in all competitions. They got a fairly fortuitous 1-1 draw at Sunderland, first game of the season. They've got a lot of games to catch up on. At what point do we start to worry about Coventry?
Because I'm already worried.
One way to come back.
I'm worried. I really am. I think they've got a good side, though. And I think loads of people predicted that they were going to finish in at least the top 10, if not the top 6. And they are bottom by a long way. And it's getting quite embarrassing now. I know that they've still got a few games to catch up on, but they are 7 points off staying up right now. And it's crazy because they've got to win a fair few games just to get back in the reckoning. And we all know how difficult it is once you start losing games to start picking up points and scoring goals.
It's so hard to start winning games. And I don't think they're going to get any luckier either. I think Luton have really started to grow into the season now. I think they're going to nick a close game 1-0. So you've got a little bit more confident than I have that they're going to take it.
Yeah. It's just based on the fact that when we played Luton, I thought they were really good. I don't think I can see many teams scoring away at Luton. And I think that Coventry have been so bad. And like we said, it's really difficult to stop that rot. It really is. Millwall versus QPR. Millwall, a team that you always seem to predict to win, especially at home.
Yeah, I like Millwall at home. I think they're a good home team. I've been looking at stats this season. They've won 3, lost 1, I think, at home. So it's still a pretty good record. But this is a tough game. I think it's going to be loud at Millwall. I think they're going to really create an atmosphere for this. I don't know if it's a proper derby, but they're both London teams. So let's say it's a London derby. But I like QPR as well. I think they've got a really good side. I shout out Chris Willock just about every opportunity I get because I think he's a great player. I think there's going to be goals in this game. I always back QPR for goals. I just don't ever back against Millwall at home. So I'm going for a draw, score draw, 2-2. Oh, he mocks me for Millwall winning.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know what to go with this game, to be honest, because QPR have been really kind of up and down this season. Like, they look fantastic in some games, but they're sat 9th in the table. That must ring alarm bells for them because they should be in the top 6 for me, but they're not at the moment. So, I've gone for a Millwall win. I never know what to make of Millwall. I just listen to you and get excited about Millwall. So let's move on to talking about Norwich City versus Bristol City. A very exciting game because there's guaranteed to be goals because both teams love to put the ball in the back of the net.
Exactly. It's the game of game week 9 and 10. But no, I think this is going to be huge. It's two teams in fantastic form. You know, Bristol are on an absolute roll.
Bristol City.
Bristol City are on an absolute roll. Eye roll. I think they're unbeaten in 8. I think they've won 4 of their last 5 in the league. Norwich have won 4 on the spin now. I think this is going to be a great game to watch. I think both teams are going to be really going at this, trying to score goals. Bristol, alongside United, are top of that goal scored list for the season. I really struggle to call this one beyond saying there's going to be a load of goals in it, but I don't know what it is. I just like Bristol City. I think they're going to win it, and I think they're going to win a massive one. I'm going 4-3. Gone huge for Bristol City.
No chance. No chance. There won't be 7 goals. It's one of them games where you think there's going to be a load of goals, but it's probably going to finish 1-0 or something like that.
There'll be loads of goals, so you'll just predict just the 4, not that many.
Yeah, just the 4. Just the 4. I weren't going to go 7, not the full hog. But one thing that I will say, I'm talking to Bristol City fans now, the amount of times I've picked you up on saying just Bristol, and nobody in the comments said, thanks, Nick. Really appreciate that. I'm going to stop picking you up on it, and I might even start calling them Bristol too.
Yeah, they're Bristol. It's fine. They'll get over it.
Now, Rotherham versus Blackpool. Rotherham have had a really, really good start to the season.
I like them. I think they've started the season really well. You know, they had a really poor performance, poor result away at Sunderland. I think that was in the last game. I'm trying to think back. It feels like it's been a long time.
But we were supposed to be playing them, weren't we? We were supposed to be playing them.
Yeah, of course. Yes. But I think they're going to bounce back here. I think at home, they're a really good side. Don't really rate Blackpool. And so for me, this is a home banker.
I think you've changed your tune. I'm pretty sure you were banging on about Blackpool a couple of weeks ago. And the fact that
Rotherham going down.
yeah. Massively changed your tune. Anyway, I've gone for a similar result. Well, the same result, a similar scoreline, 1-0 to Rotherham. Blackpool will score no goals, even though Blackpool are a team that scores a lot of goals, to be fair. So anyway, let's move on and talk about Reading versus Sunderland now. And yeah, Reading, terrible for me. They've done really well this season, came to Bramall Lane, and they were awful. And if it was just based on them both playing at Bramall Lane, Sunderland would take this, no problem whatsoever. And that's what I've gone for. A 2-1 Sunderland away win, Ollie. What do you think to that, sir?
I think that's brave. You know, Sunderland started the season great. They were very good at Bramall Lane, but they've lost the manager. They've lost the key striker now. That takes the gloss off a good start. And for me, takes a lot of their sort of attacking strength away. Don't think they'll get a goal. Reading, when they get ahead, I think will be brilliant. I think they're that kind of team. If you score first, you will batter them. If they score first, they will win 1-0. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen.
There you go. There you go. And Ollie got 15 points last week. So you've got to listen to him. Got to listen to him. West Bromwich Albion now, the last game versus Birmingham City. Is this going to be a massive, massive scoreline in West Brom's favour?
Yes, it is. Look, West Brom, I've been getting at them all season. I've been calling them XG Albion. I'm about to call them the king of draws because all they ever seem to do is draw games, whether it's 0-0, 1-1, 0-0. They really need to get a proper result on to really start their season off. And I think this is where they do it in this derby.
Wait a second. I thought you said they're the king of draws, so you've gone for a
massive win for West Brom.
Massive win.
Yeah,
I've gone for a massive win as well. I've gone 6 goals in this game. So yeah, we've seen them.
There'll never be 6 goals.
But yeah, they've got loads of goals in their team. I do think they're going to finish one of the highest scoring teams by the end of the season. They'll probably let a load of goals in as well, I reckon. But they will score a lot of goals. They've not scored too many goals as of late, but they will bang 5 goals in this game. I am positive about that. And that's us all done, mate.
Yeah. All done. And another good week, hopefully. I'm expecting at least 16 points now because I need to keep raising the bar.
No, you don't. Please don't. I don't want to start losing you. I don't want to be like kind of bottom by 20 points or something like that. So hopefully I catch up in this week. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so because we do these videos for every single championship game. If you want to get involved, all you got to do in the description, I will leave the fixtures, copy and paste them into the comments. Give us your prediction and comment it. Ollie might be shouting you out next week, just like he did at the start of this video. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ollie, for being here, as always.
Thanks for having me, Nick. No, always appreciate it, especially when I'm doing well.
Of course. Next week, I might not even invite you on.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.